Yo, we are going to be talking Husker hoops with the Hall of Famer.
You are Locked On Huskers, your daily podcast on the Nebraska Cornhuskers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Husker Nation, it's DP, Derrick, Pearson, 93.7 The Ticket, Lincoln, America, right here in the heartland. What we do, home of the Fighting Huskers, the University of Nebraska, Lincoln. I want to thank you for making Locked On Huskers, Locked On Go Big Red, your first watch, listen each and every single day. I want to thank the folks from Omaha Steaks. Yeah, boy, it's your boy. Listen, I'm telling you, $30 off if you use the promo code Locked On. Right, just go to your checkout, go to Omaha Steaks, get the packages. They get different assortments set up for you, all there. To share the story and tell you, this was one of my Christmas presents every year. When even in Virginia, when the Omaha Steaks package showed up at the front door, we knew it was on. It was on. We were going to eat well. And everybody was going to be happy. Everybody got along a little bit better that week because we ate better. The world's best beef, naturally aged for ultimate tenderness, juiciness, and flavor. Omaha Steaks has everything you need to deliver Unforgettable holiday experience. And when you do it, use the code Locked On for $30 off. omahasteaks.com. I want to bring in one of the greats. And to do what we're doing, to bring in and to talk about the big basketball weekend and things going on campus here at University of Nebraska in the athletic department, go to one of the GOATs. Bring in one of the best there is. Let's bring in Husker Hall of Famer Erick Strickland. Hey, Strick, what's happening, baby?
It is always a pleasure, man.
No, this is good. This is good. How big was this weekend for Nebraska basketball? First, on the men's side, how big was this win? A 10-point win at Creighton against number 7 Creighton. How big is this for Fred Hoiberg and the Huskers?
So one of the things we talked about, extensively is that the schedule this year was going to be a tough one. You know, playing in the ESPN Invitational, some of their beginning games against like Boston College in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. You've got all those different things that you got a chance to see in their schedule that if they were able to just get through and get to this point, that they would be okay. So what we found is last year at this same time was a crucial turnaround. It was a marker for what the season was going to be, and that was against NC State. That NC State game, some of those early games in the Big Ten against Ohio State, so forth and so on, that was the catalyst of the team kind of going into the doldrums. This game was at that same point of last year, and we said if they come out, they played well, they do well, this could set the tone for confidence. It could set the tone for them to have a wonderful run, even though they're still in a gauntlet part of their season. And that's what the early parts of the game did for them in helping them to prepare for what they're about to come into right now.
What was the key to Nebraska's success against Creighton?
It was poise. It was being attentive to details especially on the defensive side of things. It was going to require multiple effort types of defensive effort, meaning that there was going to be help recover and then recover again. It was going to be help get to the corner. It was all things that you had to be crisp on, because if you just allow them that time, that space, that's what they're going to do. Creighton's going to execute. Another piece, taking care of the ball. They only had 10 turnovers. So taking care of the ball was going to be important, because Creighton is a high-scoring team, over 80 points per game, and they're going to get up and down and take advantage of mistakes that you make. And then it's transition D. You miss, you fly back, you set up, and you force them into shot clock situations. And then Vandermill managing Nebhart, who lived in the paint in games before that. He is a tough guard. And he can get anywhere he wants to, but Vandermill did a good job, even though he didn't score well.
Let's go through this. There were several players that had exceptional games. And I think there were 4 players that were just above and beyond. Manuel Bandamel being one. Describe him as a player and his work, the things that he contributes on a game-by-game basis for the Huskers.
Bandamel is a two-way guy. He is very capable of scoring. He can get you 15 to 20 in different ways. He's probably, I would say, him and Griesel are probably the best at creating space. Griesel by way of physicality, post up. Bandamel by way of, shiftiness, change of direction, good step back, just those types of things. But defensively, he is a hound. Long arms, great feet, good understanding of scouting reports and what guys want to do. And then his ability to knock down shots at range as well. So he's not only a difficult guy to manage, because as much as he's going to give it to you on the defensive end, he's going to also be able to give it to you on the offensive end. But he's the guy that they're going to go to shut down probably the best guard that any Big Ten team from this point on brings to, including Kansas State.
Low-key superhero in this thing is Juwan Gary, the transfer from Alabama. Describe him to Husker fans.
Toughness, hardness, roughness, grimy. That's the kind of thing that Nebraska had really been missing, is one of those type of guys. Now, Derrick Walker is a silent assassin in that manner. Derrick Walker gives it to you just with, I'm here. I'm going to give you buckets tonight. Juwan Gary's like, yeah, I'm here. I'm about to give you some buckets tonight. There's just a different meaning, behind the way that each of those players play it. But Juwan Gary is figuring out and understanding his roles, but also he's listening and being attentive to the coaching that he's been given. He came in being a high volume type of shooter guy. But then he understood that his role is take the open ones, slash, get extra opportunities in the rebound, get out in the open court, and just be physical inside and securing defensive rebounds and so forth and so on. His slashing has been the thing in the last 3 games that have been something to watch, and he's doing it efficiently. So he's still getting those same type of numbers, but he's doing it on less shooting and less opportunities.
We're going to pause here. We've talked about the win over Creighton and the 2 of the players that were involved in this. We'll jump deeper and we'll go into how they got their buckets. We'll talk about Derrick Walker, Sam Griesel. We'll talk about Fred Hoiberg. We'll do all of that when we come back with the Husker Hall of Famer, Erick Strickland, here on Locked On Huskers. Welcome back to Locked On Huskers here, Locked On Go Big Red, here on the Locked On Sports Network. And again, we thank the folks from Omaha Steaks for allowing this to happen each and every single day. The holidays are here. Achieve greatness, gifting greatness when you give the entire package of perfectly aged, tender, and delicious Omaha Steaks. The steak expert at Omaha Steaks have put together special curated gift packages to help take the guesswork out, and make you a holiday hero. Look, you want to be the king of the family? Go to omahasteaks.com, use the code Locked On at checkout, and get $30 off your order. That is the folks at Omaha Steaks. And your boy is going on the website, getting me some steaks for the holidays. Husker Hall of Famer Erick Strickland on the other side. We were talking about the win over Creighton and how big it was, talking about some of the players, Bandamel and Gary, and what they bring to the table. But the reemergence of Derrick Walker in this space, tell me, how has he improved? Because offensively, he looks smoother. He looks more confident in his play. What's he done in the offseason?
Well, you can just tell that getting here, understanding what's required of him, understanding what they need for him, you can tell he's worked at it. Me having conversations and working with Derrick the time that I got an opportunity to do so, I just really wanted to empower him in the aspect of increasing something in pieces of his game each year that he shows up and each time, because the scouting reports are going to continue to be mounted up against you, that you have to be able to counteract that. You can tell he did that. He's done it with his ball handling. He's done it with his ability. He always had a great right, but an an okay left, but now he's got both. He's got a right and a left, so therefore he can counter to any one of them depending on how you play him. But then he's become more physical. Like he's where he used to run away from the contact in the past, he now embraces the contact. So he understands that, okay, I'm always going to be shorter than my opponents, mostly in the Big Ten. When you're looking at Hunter Dickinson, you're looking at Zach Edey, you can just go down the list. You're going to be size-wise undermatched sometimes. So he understood how to use that shoulder in the correct way, not in that dip it way to where you're getting fouls. He knows how to use it as he's going up, as he's doing it to create just enough space to allow him to get those shots off. And he looks poised at doing it. He doesn't look like he doesn't look suspect, or he used to be antsy in the paint, kind of what you see out of Blaze Keita right now. You see a little bit of that antsiness where the game is just really fast for you, but it looks like the game has been slowed down for Derrick. He's taken it into account. He's broke it down. I think if you can get Keita and you can get Wilhelm to slow down and just be and have that same type of confidence, they can be dangerous.
The emergence. We now have enough resume on Sam Griesel in this system with Fred Hoiberg and Derrick Walker that we now know who he is as a player. Please describe from your vision and your vantage, Sam Griesel and what he's doing for the Huskers.
Well, Sam has learned, and he had to learn very quickly. Yes, you can say he could play the position, but when you're playing the position from where he was to where he is now, that is a significant jump for anybody at any level. So to understand now the offense, what Hoiberg wants, what the team needs, he's basically breaking down the scouting reports, not only about themselves, but about the other teams, what they may potentially try to do to him. How can he get to certain spots to make himself as well as his teammates effective? What plays are we going to run? What sets can we run? Where are there He's starting to understand the totality a little bit more of the game than he did early in the season, where he seemed as if he was just playing. Well, in this game, he looked as if he was taking into account runs, taking into account, okay, we need to get a bucket here. What can I run to get us something? Taking into account, they switched. Let me back him down. And so he's looking at the whole aspect of the game, which point guards should do, and he's doing that way better. Whereas his turnover numbers were high. Now his turnovers against Creighton was 7-2, which is phenomenal. I don't care where where you're playing. That is a tremendous ratio. He was knocking at the door, tapping at the door of a triple-double. So he gives you a total range. But the minute he gets consistent with that, watch out, because he can get downhill and he can score in multiple ways for the Huskers. But once this right here gets confident, watch out.
I kept looking at the box score afterwards, and you look at Casey Tominaga's number, Brian Bach's number, C.J. Wilcher's numbers. And for that game against Creighton, look, those weren't good numbers.
Mm-hmm.
What does it say about this team that they can go on the road and face number 7 and not get production from those 3 and still have a double-digit win?
I mean, this is what people were laughing at me about. This is why I love that you got me on this show right now, DP, because people were laughing at my face. Oh, they're going to be this. We're not saying it's over and done, but we're saying they are doing some things that are uniquely different than what they did last year. And so they were laughing at me, DP, at the fact that I said, oh, well, we don't got no significant score. Bryce McGowan's is gone. Where are they going to get? I said, the good thing about this team, once I saw who they brought in Griesel, once I saw Vandermeer, I said, oh, wait, let me see. I don't know about Gary, but let me see. He's got a little something that can be used on this team to be effective. I said, this team each night, other now than what Walker is able to be on a consistent basis, because Walker, you can tell there's going to be consistency because of the fact he shot at over 60-something clip in his last season. So that was still as a young man. Now he's a grown man, and he's going to be doing the same. So they're going to get some consistency for the most part out of Derrick Walker, as long as he's not tired. Then I said, you're not going to be able. One night it's going to be Tamanaga. One night it's going to be Greasel. The next night it might be Gary. And that is the hardest thing to scout against, where you just can't determine where the offensive power is going to come from. And that makes this Husker team scary. And I don't care the rest of the Big Ten season where they go, you're not still going to be able to scout where they're going to be able to be effective. And it's just, if everybody has a bad night, they're just going to be in trouble that night.
5 starters, all 5 starters in double digits, averaging over 10 points a game. Keisei Tamanaga also averaging double digits coming off the bench. It gives you options. It makes it tough to defend. Erick Strickland, thank you, kind sir. We know you got to bounce, but I appreciate you, man. Thank you for stopping by Locked On Huskers. That is the Husker Hall of Famer, Erick Strickland. We'll be right back to finish out Locked On Huskers. We'll talk about Fred Hoiberg and what this means for his team. Welcome back. Final segment of Locked On Huskers. Locked On Go Big Red. I want to thank the Husker Hall of Famer, Erick Strickland, for breaking down the state of the union for Husker basketball and what's going on. We want to shout out the women for that, just an amazing run to go to College Park, to beat a Maryland team that you've never beaten before, that's ranked in the top 20, and then to go and, after a tough loss against Virginia Tech in Blacksburg, to figure out a way to go to Maryland and get a win against a top 20 team. Shout out to Jess Shelley and her work, Allison Weiner, and her 15 rebounds to go with her points. Markowski with another double-double. And they get another opportunity this week against Samford to get a streak going and get on a run. I want to thank you folks from Omaha Steaks, and we greatly appreciate what you do. $30 off if you go to omahasteaks.com. Use the promo code right there. Locked on. Do that. And if you order, tell you what, if you're a fan of Omaha Steaks, put it in the comments for us. And then while you're at it, subscribe. We're at about 850. We should be at about 8,500, but that's okay, Husker Nation. I'm patient. We'll get with you. Omaha Steaks is ready to ship your order right away. So shop early, beat the shopping rush. Go to omahasteaks.com. Use the promo Locked On at checkout. It's a gift from the heart. A gift that will be remembered with every unforgettable bite. Order with complete confidence, knowing you're ordering the very best. omahasteaks.com. Use the promo Locked On. Minimum order may be required. I want to close with this because both Fred Hoiberg and Amy Williams have different stresses. They have different stresses that they're carrying. Amy Williams has had the year of success after a downtime where they weren't getting the success that they were hoping for. They make the NCAA tournament. They don't win a game in the tournament. They come back with a returning starting 5. You lose Sam Hybe, your best player, to injury early in the season. You got to find a way. You make some changes in the roster. You have some success early in the season, and then you struggle against Creighton and Virginia Tech, but then you find a way to get it done against Maryland on the road. Bravo, kudos to Amy Williams and the women's basketball team. And for the men, the statement that's being made for Fred Hoiberg that coach is under, to say he's on the hot seat is a fair thing. It gives me great joy and great pleasure to watch this team come together. Sitting at 6-3, again, if we had said 2 months ago that this team would start 6-3, everybody would throw confetti and everybody would have applauded. So let's actually do that, but no time to really rest on your laurels, because you have to pack your bags, get on your horse and travel to Bloomington, Indiana, to face the Hoosiers. And this is a team that knocked off North Carolina when it was number 1. We know the depth and quality of this team. They've got star players at 3 positions. They're 9 deep. They've got great coaching staff all the way down the bench. Folks like Kenya Hunter sitting on the bench, giving them that real vibe that they need to get through the Big Ten Conference. I'll say this. Nebraska is on a 3-game win streak, and it is another opportunity to make a statement, not only for themselves as players, for them as a team, for them as a program, to say that Nebraska is legitimate and a force to be reckoned with. But this is a statement for Coach Fred Hoiberg that allows him some comfort in watching this team transition and morph into a legitimate Big Ten basketball team. Like, we're going to find out more against Indiana than we've known all to this point. The win over Creighton was exceptional. Great to win the state title. Great to silence some of the Creighton fans. But it's more important for them to know that they're good, that they're Big Ten legitimate, and they have that opportunity in Bloomington, Indiana, against the Hoosiers. So thank you for spending time with us here on Locked On Huskers. Locked On Go Big Red on the Locked On Sports Network. We finish with those 3 words we love so much. Go Big Red.